Life is about creating experiences. Life is about creating stories. People also call me one of the good salesperson they have met. I won every possible award. Today if you look at, we have over 15.5 crore customers. It's been a phenomenal journey.
You're called the father of insurance industry. You are one of the most profitable insurance company. But what is Tapan at his core?
As nothing. But
Tapan Singhel is the MD and CEO of Bajaj Allianz General Insurance. A scientist at heart and a spiritual thinker, he's redefining insurance as a force for trust, impact, and social good.
So let's take you back to your schooling days. I think that was Banaras.
yes, Banaras is another city. I strongly recommend everyone to visit that place. I had the calmest time of my life when I was in Banaras. Things will change at a rapid pace. And AI will push the change at a much, much higher pace. If you're in business, just be obsessed about what difference can you make to society, to your own people, to your customers, to the world. Business will happen.
Banking industry has seen so much innovation in the world. There is UPI. But somehow there is a feeling that the insurance industry is way behind. Why is that happening? Hello and welcome to The Awakening Code, a podcast where I talk about AI, innovation, spirituality, and the human connect. And my guest today is the epitome of human connect. He's somebody who totally imbibes the value of care, and in his case, he believes that true leadership begins with the heart. Dr. Tapan Singhel, who's the MD of Bajaj Allianz General Insurance, is not just a corporate icon. He's a living example of how business can be a force of trust, empathy, and human connection. From an aspiring scientist, that's what his background was, to a spiritual seeker, to a trailblazing CEO. His journey has touched countless lives. Tapan, welcome to the show. I look forward to dissecting your incredible journey today.
Thank you, Vishal. Always a pleasure speaking to you. I am surprised that you'd ask me these questions. I think you can dissect, answer the question yourself, and complete the podcast. I can just sit here and smile.
Well, that is not the case here. We want you to give your views from your heart. And that's what this podcast is all about. But, forget everything, Tapan. If we strip away all the titles and labels from you, I mean, you're called the father of insurance industry. You are one of the most profitable insurance company. You are a true leader. But what is Tapan at his core? How do you introduce yourself to yourself when no one is watching?
As nothing. See, the fundamental is most of what you hear, see, have been acquired. It's a layer on layer of perception that we create for ourselves. And then sometimes we get carried away by those perceptions. We feel that it's permanent. It's transient. It comes, it goes. Today you see the designation, see the title. Tomorrow I may not have any of that. So I cannot be associated with anything which is transient. And when you think like this and you go to the deep as to what is permanent, then you realize it's nothing. So fundamentally, if you are an empty vessel, it's only then you can acquire whatever is your surrounding. Imagine this glass is full of water and you want to put more water, it doesn't work. I would like to be known as nothing, for myself. So I think
But it's very easy to say that I want to be known as nothing. But from where you started to where you have reached, were you able to carry the same value throughout?
No, initially when I was younger, I was like any other young person, aggressive. I wanted to rule the world, conquer the world, acquire things. But somehow because of my upbringing and my mother's early stories, one thing I was very clear about, that I'll never hurt anyone, in the process. Even if I lose, but it will not be that I have to hurt someone to win. So a loss was better than to give pain to somebody. That was the first rule. And the second rule was that if I can help anyone, I will help anyone to the best of my ability. There are 2-3 rules. The third was I'll never lie. Because my mother always said that Raghukul read Sada Chali Aaye, Pran Jai Par Vachan Na Jai. If you say something, do it or don't say it. So these 3-4 basic ingredients which were inculcated very early in my life, those were the guardrails. But in those guardrails, the ambitions was there to rule, to conquer, to
No, but
be what
in,
you
in
are.
a corporate world, saying that I am not going to lie, I
Yes,
am always going to lose, even though that's coming at a cost of somebody else's win, because you don't want to harm them. How do these principles apply in the capitalistic world?
So if you look at Vishal, I don't think I have done badly, no, with the same principles. People also call me one of the good salesperson they have met in their life. So, and a lot of people ask me that if you're a salesperson, you have to lie. And I said, I have never lied. Be honest to customers. If you feel that there is a better product for the customer which is not yours, offer that to the customer and say, I'm sorry, but if this is what you're looking for in the market, I think they can deliver better to you. Please buy it from them. I think I've told this to a couple of customers. You'll be surprised to see that still took my product and they've never left me. And I was very surprised because I honestly told them that this would be better, but they said no. They still go with you. At least we'll get an honest answer for what has to be there. So it to me has paid. All these guardrails has paid to me in the long run. Short term, once or twice I may have lost, but that loss also made me stronger, and made me more powerful. And when I came back the next day, and that actually made sure that I in the long run I win. So it is a short-term view in terms of if you violate these principles, you may feel that you're winning. But in the long term, if you really want to be a true winner, then you just have to have these guardrails. Be very clear about it. It's perfectly fine to lose to win again.
But having these guardrails for yourself personally is very different. But you are running an organization with thousands of employees and millions of customers. How do you translate this across the organization?
It's good. So when somebody joins and I give a talk to my people, I said it's the ITP principle in the company: integrity, team play, and performance. So I tell people that I've never sacked anybody for performance, but for integrity, it is like zero tolerance. If you lie, then how do I believe that you're lying to me and I take decisions based on that, and then it harms the company more? So if you are honest, it's still good, Malab, it's perfectly fine. Second is team play. If you're not taking people along with you, then again you miss out. Performance will come. I've never been worried on performance, and I think by God's grace, 34 years of my work, I never saw that my performance at any point in time went down. So I think it's how do you prioritize? What are the non-negotiable that you want in your team, in your people, in yourself, and how do you put that on very clearly and demonstrate that, which becomes a culture of the organization as you progress further. And that is very, very critical. See, if you're tempted to have performance at any cost, and you say that I want to talk about integrity, and you start punishing people and rewarding people only on performance and nothing else matters, then after some time, why would you not see in your organizations issues of integrity playing at a large number, issues of individualism playing at a large numbers? Because you're so obsessed with just today's profit, you're so obsessed with today's performance that you just gave the message to everybody, this is what matters, rest has no relevance. Then it will play out.
So let's take you back to your schooling days. I think that was Banaras.
Yes.
Tell me, do you remember your classroom and how did it feel like being a student in the late 70s in India?
Yeah. So schooling was Calcutta. College was Banaras.
Yeah, college was Banaras.
Yes. So if you talk of schooling, I remember very clearly some classrooms of mine, and they have specific reasons. So I studied in a school called La Martiniere for boys in Calcutta. It's a very old school. And I was sitting, and I love to sit next to the windows. Even today, if you look at my office room or anywhere I sit, I always prefer to have the window opposite me and I can see outside trees or something. That I don't know, from the time I've been growing up, that has been something I really like. So I took always the window seat. And my teacher in class 10th told me, anybody who sat on that seat everybody has failed. And he said, you will also, looks like, not do well. And I was thinking, I can't compromise my seat. The teacher may be right, it's so fine, but let me give my best shot. And I actually did well in class 10. So maybe I broke the jinx of taking a window. So that I never forget, because I remember the window seat. I remember the view from my window seat. I remember the teacher telling me that, that somehow memory is very etched. One more incident I remember, it was a very funny incident. I must have been in class 1 or 2. I moved to a new class, and I think when the class started, for the first couple of weeks, I was traveling with my parents, so I was not there. So I joined in late, and I entered the classroom. The teacher said, please sit. And she pointed towards her seat, when she might have said, please sit anywhere. And as a very small kid, I said, I'm not, maybe 6-year-old or 5 year, I don't remember that, but I remember this very clearly. I was confused that if the teacher wanted me to sit on the seat that she pointed out, because that was the only thing which was visible. So I went and sat on her seat. Everybody laughed. So that again I've never forgotten in my mind. That's very clearly
You went and sat on the teacher's seat.
Yeah, because she said, please sit. Right? She pointed towards her seat. So I thought maybe she wanted me to sit there. So I just went and sat there. I'm a small kid, no? So that also I very clearly remember. Then I think I won every possible award in my upper KG, which was possible. And that's the only time I won all awards, which was possible. And that is very clearly etched. Every time the teacher would call my name and give me an award, and there's no other award that anybody could have won. So that these incidents, the funny ones, the ones that you goof up, and that's what life is about, are the one where somebody challenges you. Those get etched in your memory. Your normal day-to-day, what you do, does not get etched. And that is a big lesson and learning for us, Vishal. Life is about creating experiences. Life is about creating stories, because then those remain etched. Life is not about just leading from one day to the next day, and then those will not get etched in the memories.
They say, right, that the materialistic world is impermanent.
Yes.
But when you experience something which is truly out of the world, that becomes embedded in your memory. And I think you just described that feeling. But you started your career in the world of science.
Yes.
You are a scientist at heart.
Yes.
But how did a scientist at heart ended up in number crunching and insurance? I mean, what is the connection between these two worlds?
Again, I think my life is of stories and incidents. So why I want to be a scientist first, let's start with that. I would go for a walk with my father when I was a very small kid. And that's very relevant for all parents who are listening to this. Take your child for a walk, have conversations. It has a deep impact on the child. So my father talked about C.V. Raman, because in Calcutta, he talked about the Nobel Prize that he won, and he talked about the things he did. And as a child, I was fascinated. I said, wow, I have to get the Nobel Prize for my country. I have to do some research. I have to do path-breaking things. I have to transform the world. As a very small child, listening to father, conversation as I walked, this became very clear to me. So as I grew up, I told my father, I want to be a scientist. Luckily, I think in those days, parents never pushed you for what you wanted to be.
The choices were also limited.
They said, very good. Then he said that BHU and the physics there, because you want to do physics, has been where maximum Bhatnagar awardees, which is like the Indian best award for science, which is there. So then you want to be a scientist, then you better go and study there. And he said his father, my grandfather, studied in BHU to be a doctor. He studied there. Then he said, it's okay, it's in the generation and you may go there. So then I joined, that's how I reached Banaras, and I joined the physics department in BHU to be a scientist. But Banaras is another city. I strongly recommend everyone to visit that place, not as a tourist, but just imbibe the energy of the place. I have never seen anyone so stressed when they are in Banaras. Everybody feels that, theek hai, sab acha hi hai, Bole Baba
The most
lagayenge.
ancient city in the world.
Yes, it's some magic in the air, I would say that. I had one of the best college life, in which I did not perform very well in the initial years in my college life, because but I never felt any kind of stress of any kind. I had the best time of my life there.
But moving from Calcutta to Banaras, and then you have now traveled to possibly as part of your work gone to all the possible cities in India and abroad. What do you still remember from Banaras which you think is totally unique?
Just your presence in Banaras. That's why when I tell people who go to Banaras, I said, okay, you see what you want to see, visit the temples you want to see the ghat, see the aarti, do that. But also take some time out where you're not trying to do anything. You're just trying to be yourself. And notice the difference in your mental peace compared to if you're in any other city. it's actually magical. I strongly believe that cities also have the energy on because of the placement that they have in their own ways. And in the ancient times, the cities that we got built in India were actually built on these principles of where the energy forces are the highest. And Banaras being one of the oldest or the oldest living city of the world is not so just because of that. It is because of where it is positioned. In Banaras, you meditate for 5 minutes, it will be equivalent to meditating, let's say, in 30 minutes in Mumbai. It is that kind of place. I experienced that city as a student, and I can tell you that I had the calmest time of my life when I was in Banaras.
Tell me, did you do anything at that point of time when your parents were annoyed and angry at you कि ये क्यों कर रहे हो?
No. My mother was upset when I joined the insurance company. Before that, she was fine. She was happy. She said कि insurance is for people who have given up on life. It is not for somebody who
Because
can do good.
India में except LIC, nobody had heard of anything.
Exactly. So you can imagine when I was telling I'm going to join an insurance company as a direct officer, she said कि यही करना था और साइंटिस्ट नहीं बनना था तो आईएएस बन जाते मतलब why would you join an insurance company like no and then she was very upset with me. I clearly
Because like railways, something else is still considered a mainstream
exactly
career. But insurance was very, very rare at
yes,
that point of time.
and nobody knew insurance. I think so. That is the time I think she was upset. I've never seen my father upset with me. I think he always believed in the principle of freedom and the ability to choose things. He was very clear that his children after class 12th have to go to boarding. They have to start learning to live independent, take decisions, and be accountable for the decisions. Whatever they decide, he was always very supportive. That is it. But if I have to remember, I think the only time I saw my mother upset was when I joined the insurance industry.
But tell me, were there any other option or you only had this option? How did you pick insurance at that point of time?
So I had done my MSc. I did well in my masters, and people were very clear that I would be a good scientist because in whatever projects I did, it would become the best. I created holographic images through laser using rubber tubes with the least resources I could create quite a bit. So it's very clear I was going to do my research and move on to Buffalo University. New York was one of the options I was looking at to go. And my friends were competing. They're trying to do IAS, bank probationary officer, insurance double level. In those days, these were the top government jobs that you would get. And government job was what people would look for. So one of my friends bought this form of insurance, the government insurance company, and a direct officer as a class 1 officer, and said that, why don't you fill this? I have an extra form. I said, not interested. He said, it's an IQ test, man. It's not like you mug up and you come first in the class. So I said, okay, if it's an IQ test and you are so keen that you want me to fill, so let me fill this up. So I filled that form, I gave the examination, and I was among the top scorers in the country. So then they said, at a young age, you're becoming a class 1 officer of the government of India. Why don't you experience this? And if you don't like it, you still have the option to go and do your like PhD and continue. And there's some couple of months. What's the harm in joining? And that is how I joined the insurance industry. And that's why I told my mom, I think I've got this
a
job.
Random paper जो नहीं देना था, you went and gave that paper and you ended up joining insurance. That's quite a story.
Yes,
so tell me something, with all these kinds of incidences in your life, what is your belief of destiny? Is it a matter of chance or is it a matter of choice?
See, I've never really worried too much, Vishal, as to where I will go. I still remember when I was a child, in our time, any uncle, auntie, as we call them, when they would come home and they would see a child, the first question they ask is, "Beta kya banna hai?" I don't know, it's still relevant or not, but that was very clear. And I'd be very confused. I would say, "Kuch bhi ban jayega."
Aajkal, by the way, everybody wants to be a social media influencer.
They have to learn
All
from
the
you.
kids.
So then in my life, again I said it was very, very clear. Whatever comes to you, do it well. Try and see what you can do for people, society, country. Be obsessed with it, and then life will just follow. Why should you worry about how things go? You can call it destiny, you can call it fate, you can call it whatever. But why should I worry about what is my destiny? Will I be rich? Will I be poor? I should just be doing what I'm doing right
but
now.
today's kids are taking, studying for IAS, UPSC, so many competitive exams. Uske baad, people are worried about which college they want to get to. The rat race has become really, really crazy.
So I remember IM Shillong had called me to speak. So normally when you go to a college to speak, um, some kids pick you up from the guest house to the podium, no, and you walk with them. And Vishal, I never prepare for any speech. I just say what I want to say. So there are two kids with me. So I asked them this question: why are you studying in IM Shillong? So they thought for some moment, but there was not an immediate answer that they gave. Then I tried to give them prompt. I said, maybe because it'll get you a good job. They said, yes, sir, we're studying so that we get a good job. Then I asked them, how do you define a good job? Then again there was a silence for some time. Then I again tried to give them prompts. Said, maybe the one which pays you well. Yes, sir, that's it. The one which pays us a lot of money. As then the last question, which was the most, because by the time I reached the podium, was how do you define what is good money? Because if you're only working and studying to make money, then what is the amount of money that you make you quit? No, there's no other purpose. Then how do you do that? So to answer your question, if when I look at kids, and that's why initially a lot of people bring their kids to me, but after my conversation, they are not very happy with that. I only ask them the same question: what exactly are you trying to achieve by, let's say, becoming an IAS or becoming an entrepreneur or becoming a social media influencer? What exactly are your aims? Why are you doing it? Have you thought this through? If there's a clear answer, it's very good. The child will 100% do very good. The answer is not clear, then I just tell them, let's just think it through, because that is what is very, very critical.
So, from being in a government job, you also then took a very big risk to jump into the private sector, and that too, private sector in a company who had no experience in insurance. Do you remember, the Bajaj group ended up hiring you to do this, and how did you run this startup for them, right? This is a startup within the large conglomerate.
Yeah, so I think, this was something just, I never thought of joining a private company. Government company, the good part was if I was alive and I completed a term, I would get pension. So I don't have to worry till I'm alive or no. And I would get a good place to stay. They would always have the best bungalows, the best society to stay in, the poshest place in the city. You'd get a car, you'd get all the benefits. And if I died, my wife would get a job on compassionate ground. She's an engineer, she would have got again a class 1 officer job. So in a way, it is very secure. You don't do stupid stuff, but that's fine. And then your entire life don't have to worry about anything which can go wrong. In a private job, you don't deliver, you get sacked. Then you have to start worrying about your finances and how things would be. So as you rightfully said, when I was in a government job, I was enjoying my job, I was doing good there also. I was not tempted of joining off. But since when private insurance companies allowed in India in 2001, a lot of these started approaching the good officers from public sector, because that is where the talent was, the government jobs. So quite a few companies called me up, and I would keep on saying no. In Bajaj Allianz, one of my close friends, I would say, from the same company I was in, he called me and then he said, that looks like you're afraid. Again, this one sentence
आपको बोलिए डर गए लग रहा है.
got me into Bajaj Allianz as the initial founding employee of this company, when there was nothing which was existing, and from there we built this company to where it is today. It was a great pleasure and an honor to do so, because today if you look at, we have over 15.5 crore customers. We need to make a difference to our society in which we live in, and create so many employment, and it's been a phenomenal journey, and I really loved every moment of it.
But one very interesting thing, Tapan, is that for companies, they are about growth, aggression, aggressive. But your thesis is care. Your thesis is compassion. Matlab, it almost looks like a spiritual person is running the company and not an aggressive, alpha male who's trying to, kind of run this as an aggressive business. So tell me, how is your leadership style reflective of your values?
So again, this is And that's when I say look at our company's performance, and then look at how we have built this company. And there would be a huge disconnect in the basic folklore of that you have to be aggressive, you have to be abusive, you have to do this to make a good company. Not required. Love, compassion, being with the people can also build an amazing company. Because I have in my life never worried about performance, as I told you. I had never been worried about the results. My worry only has been, are we making a difference to society? Are we creating meaningful employment for people? Are we ensuring that their dreams are getting fulfilled? No. Are we being with them when things go wrong with them? I think worry has always been at the last mile. That are we really taking care of what we can do through the jobs that we have? Rest has been incidental. But my learning again in this whole journey has been that while we have been trying to make sure that the last mile, as we call it, is taken care of, the businesses get built phenomenally well, and they have a very long-term standing and consistent. So if you look at our results every quarter for, let us say, from the time we existed, 24 years now, you'll not find that at any point in time we have not performed well.
No, but getting somebody, there are so many management theses, right, or philosophy. What is this management philosophy? And you have all these, foreign board members and industrialists. How do you explain your philosophy to them who are, reading all the Western style of doing business mostly?
So you've heard this sentence: "Nothing succeeds like success." See, if you're successful in all parameters, nobody gives you any philosophy. I think they're happy that you're succeeding. So that has been to my advantage, I would say.
No, but aisa
So,
nahi, I mean, I'm sure there would be times when you
Yeah,
had
there have
ups
been.
and downs.
Let's say there have been some let's say conflicts in the style of let's say a review, or let's say there has been conflict in some business that I felt we should do because it's good for society to profit. There would be this conflict moment. But the good point has been that whenever you're able to explain it in a very simplistic manner as to why you should be doing this and what is your principle, and if you are giving results, I've not seen a huge pushback come that this is it. It'll keep on resurfacing that this is how we should look at it, and I would still say that no, this is how I can't do this, I'm perfectly fine. And if that is yielding results, even it's contrarian to expectation that such thing can yield results, then people would still go with it. That was my experience. That's why I said I never lied in terms of business. It yielded results, so I never had to. So I tell people there's no need to lie. I believe that if somebody requires help, if my employee requires some support, irrespective of how bad a phase they're going through, whether you have a corporate policy or not, or you have, go help that person. So I remember once I gave somebody work from home. Now work from home is fashionable. This is about 12 years, 13 years back when it was not so fashionable. For about a year, I got questioned by some of the people on the board, how can you do that? It's not in the company policy. So all I said was that if it's not in the company policy, let's put it. So why should we not do something which is good? So I think the simple principle is do good. Don't worry. The rest will.
No, but don't you
Follow.
think people take advantage of this also?
Yeah, some will. So some will take advantage, some will exploit this. And what has been my learning here? So I have, let's say, some people that you help them, even in the worst of times, when nobody would have helped them. And if you didn't help them, they would have been finished then. And you helped them, you made them strong, and after they became strong, then they maybe leave you or go, or maybe let go of your, the way you work, your business plans, or those things can go. Now, what your reaction should be? So, because you are hurt by these incidents, if you are hurt, you stop doing good, or if you feel that it's fine. That is his or her way of thinking.
Yeah.
My thinking does not change. I still wish everyone good, even them very good. If they still come to me and say, Tapan, can you help me? I'm in trouble. I still help them.
No, but talking to you, I almost feel like you are Yudhishthir, who's running a company, with dharma and truthfulness. But when you are at war, you need to have an Arjun, who's laser targeted. You need to have a Bhim who can lift. And you need to have a Shri Krishna who can manipulate. So how do you get these elements into, or do you think a pure Yudhishthir style of running an organization is going to take you where you are?
So this question got asked by one of my mentees. Interestingly, it's different. So I was telling them, do good, be good. Even if people hurt you, be good. To your enemies also, be good. So then they asked me, at one point of time, you tell us, be a warrior. No, be the best warrior that the world has seen. At the other point, you say, be good. How can I reconcile the two? Exact the question that you asked in a different way. And I smiled to myself. That's a very interesting question. Then I actually gave the example of Mahabharata. I say, we look at Sri Krishna, he would always do good. And when Arjun was there, and that's how Gita, the entire creation of Bhagavad Gita happened, he was confused. Like, how can he fight people, who are his own people, his grandfather, and his uncles and his teacher? Then Sri Krishna says, in the battlefield, your dharma is to fight. So you do dharma, fight. So I said, let's say if my own mentee becomes the CEO of a competitor company, he will still come and touch my, my feet when he comes to meet me at my home. I'll still ask me business strategy. I still tell him what it is. But next day when I go for business, and he also comes for business, and if he does not fight well, I'll still scold him. He has to do his dharma. I'll do my dharma. And whoever wins, we should just respect the other person fought well and then go for the next one. So these are not something which is this or that. You can do good. You can be thinking well of people, even your enemies. And you can also fight like a champion, like a true warrior. So to answer your question, you can be Arjun, you can be Yudhishthira, you can be Sri Krishna. You can be all of it without compromising on your guardrails. Be clear about dharma and do your dharma in the place the dharma has to be performed, and do it to the best of your abilities.
Now tell me, how does this philosophy translate to your customers? Because insurance is currently going through a lot of challenges in the world. Recently, we had the CEO of one of the world's biggest insurance companies shot dead in the middle of New York City.
Yes.
The trust today in the insurance system is possibly at an all-time low. Customers feel that insurance companies are going to deny their claims, not do the right thing. So there is a massive trust deficit, and at the same time, the customers also have a challenge that hospitals are overcharging them, doctors are not giving them the right advice. In such an environment, how do you build a trust-based organization?
Yeah. Now, here if you look at insurance, let's just say, it's actually very interesting. When you buy any tangible product, you can immediately feel the product, see it, get the pleasure of buying a product, be it a car or maybe a mobile
phone,
or a phone or any kind of trousers or anything you buy, you immediately feel it. When you buy something like an insurance, it just says that if something goes wrong, you'll be protected. So it is not one of your highest priorities to think that I should buy insurance. We have not met anybody in the world who's been excited to buy insurance as yet. Yeah, I have asked this question, many people tell me, when we're excited to buy insurance. Nobody has told me that, yes. So it's not something that you're looking to.
It's something you buy out of fear.
Not even out of fear, out of mandatory requirement. See, in India, you buy motor insurance because by law...
Mandatory requirement, or fear. These are possibly...
No, and you take a lot of this home insurances because you have a loan. So if, let's say, bank says that don't worry, don't take an insurance, it's fine. You can just take a loan and will not, if something happens, will not recover. Or if the government says no motor insurance required, you'll be surprised to see most of it fall. In life also, you're not buying term insurance, you're actually buying investment. Retire rich, So if we actually look at it, nobody is willingly on their own looking to buy insurance. It's a very interesting product, when you think of it. I've yet to see any other product category in which people are not willingly going to buy
and
that.
Is it also because we all think yaar sab kuch to Ram bharosa hai?
No, we don't think. Our brain is not wired, Vishal, to understand risks for us. And it's good. If it was wired like that, we'd all have been in caves.
Yeah, we will not take risk.
हम तो निकलते ही नहीं. See, if you see, let's say you see a youngster, simple thing like they overspeed on the road. If you think of it, why should you, Malab, why should you want to take that risk, no? But they still do that because the younger you are, the more your brain is wired not to see risks. And that is why when your brain is wired not to see risks, insurance does not come as your top priority, even though it's very important for you. So somebody has to come and sell you insurance. That's why it's a distribution-led business. It's not a direct-to-customer business. Now, when somebody is selling insurance to you and you're not very keen to listen to what the coverages are, and you say, take a Joe BS, give me the cheapest, and then you sign off the document. Now, that moment is where if some trust element gets built, that you know what you are buying, then this dissatisfaction will not happen. Because most customers get through, let's say in a health policy, your policy running for 5 years, I promise you, irrespective of the claim, there will not be any denial. No company can deny the claim. But you took a policy today and after a month you have a heart operation, then chances are that you may have been feeling discomfort or
Much before,
much before. And that would not be the right time. And that is where those claims get into, because a model cannot work in which you start paying for people who already have an illness, because then the company would go bankrupt. It has to work when things are good. If things go wrong, it pays. And that is where the friction happens. To get to a level of trust where you take away friction, you have to have products in which no question asked, claims get paid. I think that is to answer your question. As a company, we have been trying to push that how much and how many products can we make it the least friction free when it comes to claim. Because the customer at times may not be aware. And how do you ensure that you price the product in a way that you don't allow this to happen? If I look at data points from the regulatory side, our company has had the least grievance ratio in spite of having the maximum customers in the Indian market. For the time this has got published for over, I think, 10, 12 years, every month we have done that. Does it make me happy? No. Why? Because the problem statement still is there. As long as people don't feel, wow, is insurance so smooth, so clear, and whatever I heard was wrong, till I start getting those feedback, we are not reached there. But as an industry, we also chair the industry. We are trying to push and take the industry to that place where it becomes friction free. We're trying to put up exchanges, along with the government. We are trying to see that we cover everybody. Like you say, health for all now is happening now, that all this friction disappears. We are trying to see that we cover pre-existing also. Like in the government schemes, your pre-existing is covered. So there's no question asked. You go to a hospital, get treated, and the money gets paid straight through, So how do you keep on building friction-free experiences for the customer and be there when things go wrong? We'll get to the level that you are saying. But with technology today, it is possible. Earlier, it was difficult.
I remember you said a very important thing. You said that people think insurance is about selling premium or collecting premium. But actually, it is not about that. It's a business of paying claims.
Exactly.
So customers always try to compare the price कि किसका premium सस्ता है. जबकि they need to see that who's actually paying the claim.
Exactly, that's it.
And I think this philosophy of focusing on paying the claims on time to the right people has got you where you are, because most of the other companies are just trying to discount the premium and sell as many policies as possible. And when claims happen, when shit hits the fan, they are trying to remove every small print and every asterisk. And I think that is what is creating the problem, because customer ne le to li insurance tabhi, but at the time of claim, this has all become a challenge.
So again, which is actually very contrarian when you think of it. So as you said, I've always said we are in the business of paying claims, pay claims well. And as I mentioned to you, data-wise also it shows that we have the least grievances. And if I look at number of customers, we are the highest number of customers in the Indian market, at 15.5 crores. I don't think any other company would have so many customers. So if you're focusing on the good part, I always said business is incidental. It will happen. If you're so obsessed about the profit part and the business part, then you'll make mistakes in the good part, and that you'll have to suffer in the business also in the times to come. Short term you may gain. So fundamentally, again coming back to my original statement, if you're in business, just be obsessed about what difference can you make to society, to people, to your own people, to your customers, to your country, to the world. Business will happen. Don't get obsessed about what's my profit today, what is my business today. It will happen.
But people who are on the treadmill, right? Quarterly, the market is looking at everything on a quarterly or a monthly basis. Your investors are looking at it, and even your own employees. There are so many options. How have you managed to keep such an incredible management team together? I've seen your team members, they've all been with you for decades. I'm sure they had millions of calls from people, they all had opportunities. But how do you keep this ethos of all the people surrounding you together?
It again is the philosophy, no, of life. See, you have an option to go tomorrow and make more money. No, you have nobody stopping you from doing so. But at what cost? No, if you today have the liberty to decide, you have mental peace. If failing is fine, if no, as long as you are within the ethic parameters, things are good. Then would you want to be in that space? Or do you want to be in a space where is cutthroat? So personalities will decide that. Some personality would want that, and they love that. There's nothing wrong, right in this world. Then they would move on. But the ones who want this would stay with you. So over a long period of time, you will have a lot of people who stay with you because of your belief and the way you would look at businesses and things. That is how the team stays together. Vishal.
So, in the last 25 years, the world has really transformed, with computerization. And now AI is going to change every possible industry. We've had a lot of conversation on it. But I personally believe that AI will have the biggest impact in a business like insurance. Because insurance, which was largely a probability based business, with AI, you can predict. So if you know that there is going to be a natural calamity, very high probability, or if you know that somebody is going to get a heart attack, very high probability, or if you know that there is going to be a higher incident of an accident of this car by this driver, how do you run a business of insurance?
Okay. So insurance has existed even before civilization. And it will be there in a form even when everything is over, no? Till the last. And I always say this is the oldest profession. So if you look at animals, they also move in herds. Why should they move in herds? They're insuring each other. If something goes wrong, the herd will move in. Look at villages, the concept of villages. People who stay together, and if things go wrong, even today in a village, if somebody really falls ill or somebody
Somebody is
lose money,
there to help you.
they are there to. What is that? It's only insurance. The concept of insurance like this. When you move to cities, now you don't have a village. You don't have the support system. And that is what insurance does. It creates a bigger village for you. Where when you pay premium, Vishal, somebody is utilizing that money of yours. Somebody is getting benefited with that money of yours. And you don't realize that. When you realize that, then you will pay premium very happily because in the end it's like a global village. And the claim does not only get paid by the insurance company that you have. They have reinsurers everywhere. So you may not know that a person in New York who has paid premium actually is paying off your claims in India. When the World Trade Tower fell in US, across the world, people start paying premium for terrorism. Before that was complimentary in the fire premium which was there. So money starts flowing across the world. It's a very interesting, I always say insurance is like a global village. It is helping somebody somewhere where you don't even know
Think about it
where your money is going. So the forms will change. Like you rightfully said, the AI coming in, the way insurance companies operate today will change. The way insurance companies operate 100 years back, has changed. The way we started the business 25 years back has changed. The products that were there, have changed. Things will change at a rapid pace, and AI will push the change at a much, much higher pace. So I think, courtesy you, I remember when AI started, you were among the first to come and say, Tapan, I want to talk to you. I said, then talk to my whole team. And you gave such a beautiful presentation, and I've been a fan of AI after speaking to you, Vishal.
And I remember you in Thailand, you presented using AI.
Yeah, no, not in Thailand, Davos, anywhere you see, if you see in most of my clips, you would see that I've been using AI. I love it, and the way it's progressing, I also strongly believe it will transform not only insurance, a lot of industries, a lot of the way we work, the way we see the world is going through a massive transformation. In the next couple of years, you'll see that. But insurance will remain in a form which would be very different. The global village has to exist because otherwise things will collapse. If you don't have insurance, you'll be amazed to know not a single cargo can move. Most of the car makers in the world actually get insurance kind of test by crashing the car. that what they'll charge. Most of these power plants, the turbines get tested by insurance engineers to see that would they insure or not, in terms of how, this global village of helping each other, and insurance is that phase that can never disappear. The forms will change, the way it will change will be there. How can you have no mechanism of assisting people in need? No, insurance actually plays that role. People don't see it on that perspective. They see it as a transaction. That's why it's a different product. It's a different way to run the business. It's a different ball game altogether.
So you are talking about global risk pooling.
Yes.
And today, insurance is doing that. But in a world where AI is going to be running most of the things, how do you insure against AI itself?
Yeah, so if you look at the cyber risk coverage is there, and today you don't have the capacity in the world to cover all the cyber risk. Why it is not so? People are putting in limited capacity. What they're worried about is a tsunami in cyber attacks is coming. A lot of us have not thought this through. People are thinking that you're protecting your phone or device from phishing and malware. One of the school of thoughts is that every device has already some or other form of malware. It's a question, when does it trigger to be a tsunami attack? The wars will be fought like this. I think the whole world is going to go through a change. Now, when it happens, insurance companies are supposed to pay that claim. Now, how much will it pay? It will be exponentially very high. The entire capacity of the world of insurance will not be able to pay that claim. So what the industry is doing, they are picking up how much they can pay. And what surprises me is that the industry is not even taking to the full capacity. They're also taking a small amount of capacity. They should be hungry to take as much as possible, because the world has not seen a tsunami of cyber attacks happening simultaneously. They've seen one or two attacks, which again is a big force, but not a tsunami like you have.
So the banking industry has seen so much innovation in the world. There is UPI in India, and globally so much fintechs and so much innovation. But somehow there is a feeling that the insurance industry is way behind. Why is that happening?
Yeah, again, it's from the entrepreneur side. If you look at in the finance world, it's not the bankers who did the innovation. Let us be clear about it. Who did the amazing entrepreneurs like you? You figured out, why not straight through process? Why should the credit card charge 36% of interest? Why can't you give a personal loan to somebody who's not able to pay the credit card at a 10-12% interest? Now who thought this through? Will the bankers think this through? The answer is no. So that is again the interesting point. The innovation in banking has happened because of the laziness in the banking system. The margins, let's say a credit card at 36% interest when you default on a payment, that's huge. On a personal loan which you may get for 12%, the difference is 24%. Now, as an entrepreneur, you see that difference. So you move in with the system. When you swipe a card and you have to pay like 2-3% charges, and there's a delay in the payment, why would you not do a UPI and remove that the margins? Entrepreneurs move in where they see laziness in the system, where they see a good quantum of money which is on the table. I think banking had most of this. The fat system was very high in banking, and that's why most entrepreneurs actually moved in very, very fast on that, and that is where innovation happened. I think in insurance companies, I've seen quite a few entrepreneurs trying to do that, but they're not been able to find that fat and flab. Again, that's so interesting again, which means an industry which runs at very razor thin margin, which means they deliver to the customer much higher value compared to, let's say, any other industry, still has a bad name because of the friction that creates in delivering, at the point of truth. I think that is when I said they should remove the friction completely as much as possible. But when I look at balance sheets, the flab, it is there. So to answer your question, I think entrepreneurs bring in innovation, and where they see a flab, that is where they move in very fast.
So I remembered you had organized this global insurance festival in Pune, where you created this Guinness record of the most amount of insurance agents together. But what actually struck me was your image of like a rock star. I could see, thousands of these people screaming, shouting and waving at you when you walked the ramp literally in Pune. And that reminded me of your unique connection with people. Whether it's a insurance agent from a rural India to somebody from, Mumbai or Delhi, you have been able to establish this personal connect. So tell me, how do you manage and maintain this connect at so many different levels?
It's so simple, Vishal. You also a man, who makes amazing connections. See, if you feel good for people from your heart, and you exude that, and you make efforts to ensure that they do well. You are worried about their family, their prosperity, they're doing good, and you want to do that for them. I'll be surprised if people don't know have that connection for you. So in building this company, I think I would have for at least close to not less than 200,000 people I have touched and made a difference to their lives, their livelihood, their
And you
earnings.
travel so extensively every
Exactly.
week. You are traveling to a new city,
Yes.
meeting, and even the smaller cities.
Yes. So that obsession is there. So I'm very grateful that they like me. But from my perspective, my only obsession is that how do we keep on making a difference, or to the customer, anybody in need. I think again we come back to the same fundamental point.
No,
The
and-
obsession
and-
is to do
And I
good.
think one thing which I have to tell, I know you for almost 10 plus years, Tapan, that you are genuine and people can make out, you can't fake genuinity. You can do it once or twice, but you have constantly proven that you are genuinely good, which is why people are forced to reciprocate your generosity. And this value has to come from another level, and that's where I want to come back to your spirituality and your leadership. You have met the Dalai Lama, you've met so many spiritual leaders in your journey. So tell me that spirituality is a path which has chosen you, but how did you decide to continue walking this path? Because a lot of people can say that, but
Yeah.
you actually follow it.
Yeah, no, it's actually very interesting, Vishal. So as I told you early on, I was like conquer the world, rule the world.
Angry
do-
young man, you were like the angry young man.
yeah. Then somewhere down the line, I was always fascinated by spiritual places. I always felt that energy. Like I told you, in the city of Banaras, and that's why I recommend people. I would feel that energy. If I go to some temple or maybe any religious place, maybe a church or a mosque or any place. Now I visit all places, and if I just sit quietly, I feel some amazing energy. I just feel that, and it just feels amazing. I remember I had Jain EA, and he on a trip he said, "This is an amazing Jain temple. I would like to go there for some time if you're okay." I said, "You want to leave me and go?" He said, "No, sir." I thought, no. I said, "Let's go." And I was sitting in that temple, and I had my eyes closed, and I felt there was a small boy who came to me and touched my head, and then we left the temple. So I just told him that I felt this, and he said, "This temple is for a very small boy," and he was enlightened at a very young age, and you'd feel that. So this world is more than what you can see and what you can understand and what you can feel, Vishal. And that's why the empty vessel story, that you have to be nothing for allowing this experiences to come to you. And if you're just it's perfectly fine. Like when I speak to you also, it's not that I'm preparing or it's just whatever comes, I would speak, right, wrong, good, bad. I don't even think about it. When you're in that stage, then automatically you feel that. And that's why I try to meet a lot of spiritual leaders also, to understand, to see them. I went to Bhutan also to really understand as a country why are they so happy. What exactly drives
And we
them.
also met Rinpoche, the
Rinpoche,
happiest
exactly,
man.
yeah, the happiest man on this earth, and courtesy you at your house, I met him. So if you look at my eternal curiosity at times, just to understand how this works, because when you ask anybody what do you want to be, they'll always say happy, and they're destroying their own happiness. It's actually funny, and this is this journey. So it's very, very interesting, exciting. And then one thing I learned, which was very funny, because you see I'm a scientist, so I read a lot of books, met a lot of leaders. Because I said, why can't I be enlightened? And why for enlightenment should I be a sadhu or should I be a monk? Why can't I be enlightened in the work that I do? Why can't this happen? So I read a lot of books, studied so much, and met so many people. The answer was very simple, that if you desire to be enlightened, you can't be enlightened.
I want to be happy. I want to be happy. You can't be happy.
So I think it's actually very funny. So, but it's a good journey, and I really enjoy this, and I like it. But the answer to what you said again is just be free of any any thought be of any expectations. And if you are in some specific places with some specific people who have walked this path before you, even if they are happy or they are beaming with like some, just spend time next to them, just do nothing, just be there, and you will feel the energy. The world is more than what you can see and what you can know.
And
Yeah.
in the world of spirituality, you have now met so many leaders. Are there any common points, especially which somebody running a business or who's somebody running in working for a large company can incorporate? Because they think that spirituality is nothing. It's like spirituality and the world of commerce and business are two separate paths.
No, that's why if you see, the thing I told you just a couple of minutes back was that why can't I be enlightened doing the work that I'm doing? No? And if you again read the Bhagavad Gita, Sri Krishna actually says that karma yoga, and yoga is the way to spiritualism. I think it is not just the exercise that you do; it's a full process. The most scientific book on spiritualism written by Patanjali, it says the Yoga Sutras. So even if you do karma yoga and you're obsessed with your karma to the highest of level and not really worry about the future, about the results, about the consequences of it, so is also a form of spiritualism. And that, I think, for the first time when Sri Krishna was telling Arjun that in the battlefield your karma is to fight well, really do it well. That's your karma, so do it well. That also is spiritualism. So one should not confuse that spiritualism only means that you sit in Himalayas and meditate. In the work you do, in your existence, in your daily battle, lies spiritualism also.
So right now the world is going through so much of chaos with what's happening in the US on tariffs, what's happening in the world of AI, that we all know that AI is going to have so many repercussions. What's happening in the geopolitical space, China, Pakistan, Palestine, Israel, there is so much of chaos. How does one maintain calm in this? Everything seems to be going wrong.
Yeah, no, Vishal, I think your resistance to circumstances is what causes your unrest. Now, let us say if you're a small child, let's say you're a 2-year-old or 3-year-old boy. What is that child's reaction to the question you asked? You tell him,
Doesn't know, doesn't care.
maybe you're telling him, so he knows now.
Yeah.
Ki, yaar, ye ho raha hai, Trump has put tariff, the world AI is coming in, this is happening. What's the child's reaction? He may be just laughing at you, So if you read another book which I would recommend, Ashtavakra Gita, in which this young boy is telling King Janak on life, and he says you should be in awe at all moments of time. You should be in awe of everything, It's like a child. The child is in awe of everything. You said tariff is there, he's in awe of tariff. Oh, wow, tariff is there, it's amazing, This is going to happen. AI will do this. Oh, wow, this is going to happen. In fact, I wrote an article on AI. AI is a collective consciousness of human being. And my belief is the majority of human beings at a very disproportionate level are good people. So AI can't cause harm. This is the way I look at it. If majority are bad, people don't require AI to destroy. They'll destroy themselves.
They'll destroy themselves.
So I think if you look at it from different perspectives, excited. Let's say if tariff is happening in the US, obviously Trump is trying to see what he can do best for his country as a leader. He's trying to see what he can do for negotiation to bring trade to. And it will impact on the way the world was built. It will create a new world order. You'll have more innovations happening. It will have more kind of mechanism to see how supply chain will get created. You'll have so much excitement in terms of creation of new businesses. You'll have it will always and you have heard that poetry. The old order changeth place, yielding to new. It is going to happen. You're on the cusp of the most exciting time, Vishal.
Chaos is creation.
Creation. You are on the cusp of the most exciting time. You should be in awe. Like a child, you should be laughing. I said, this is the amazing time to be in. When did you get a chance like this to be in this world? So I think
So you always have to see the glass half full.
That is because you have to justify everything, Vishal. Never do that. Just be in awe. Glass is half full, empty, doesn't matter. Be in awe that the glass is there, water is there, you can drink water.
So talking about glasses and water, I remember coming once to your house and you showed me this very crazy thing. It was a tower made of key cards.
Yeah.
So people have the habit of collecting watches, cars, coins, postcard. But you have collected every key card and physical key of every hotel you have stayed throughout your career. And for me, this tower is not just a tower, it's a metaphor of your persistence, your memory, and your struggles. So can you tell me a little bit more about how you thought about this and how has this manifested into this tower of hotel key cards?
Yeah, so again, it comes from the same philosophy. People would think that I've been traveling, like I still do, about 200 days in a year, been across the globe, been across every city in the country, mostly all districts in the country, setting up offices, meeting people, recruiting people, staying in amazing places, crazy places, all kind of places. So one day I was thinking, and people thinking, it's so much travel, don't you get tired? And I said, I'm creating so many memories, so many things. Then what do I do? In that era, you don't have mobile clicking pictures. No? Now you have that, and that also we don't see. I said, okay, every hotel that I stay in, and the key they gave me, I request the hotel counter and keep the key with me. Some places they charge me money also for it. I said, fair enough. And then I put that together over time. Because when a journalist asked me, how do you define success? I said, if I have enough stories to tell my grandchildren, they don't get bored and I don't run out of stories, I had a good life. So each hotel key that you see has a story, of the city, of the town, of what exactly it was.
And that's what makes you truly special and wonderful. And now that you have you have grandchildren already now. So tell me that, how has your family shaped your professional life? I know your beautiful family. I had the privilege of spending time with each one of them, and they are so amazing and so supportive. But how has that contributed to where you are today?
If it was not for them, I don't think I could have done what I wanted to. So, see, first it starts with your wife. And a lot of people ask of this work-life balance today. I think this word I hear a lot. And once one of my mentees, again, he's a global CEO. He flew down just to have a dinner with me. And one of his biggest concern was work-life balance. And he asked me, what should I do to have work-life balance? And I saw him really very worried. I said, right now we do nothing. Let's have dinner and we'll try and figure this out. So, and I was thinking myself as I was having dinner that what do I answer him? I've been traveling 200 days in a year. I don't think I've hardly taken leaves. Most weekends also I'm working. So if I tell him this, then he would think that it's not that. Everybody has their own style of working and everything is right. It's not that something is right or wrong. Then I realized that in my case, it was work-life integration. So Sangeeta, my wife, has been, like say when traveling and she has time, she has traveled with me. Most of my business partner, agents, employees, she knows them more than I would know. She knows everybody, over time. And I think I remember an incident recently. I was going to Calcutta for a meet and then suddenly regulator called me. I had to move to Hyderabad. So I told Sangeeta, come along. She said, what happened? I said, nothing, I'm going to Calcutta. She said, I have some work to do. I said, well, I need you. She said, why do you need me? I said, I have to go to Hyderabad. And she said, go. I said, yes, but I've already called all my business partners there and they have come with their spouses and family and now I can't cancel that. She said, yes, what do I do? I said, you take care of them. She said, but I'm not on your company's payroll. I said, I know, but you enjoy it also. You love meeting people.
But you are on her payroll.
Yeah. I said, you love meeting people. She said, okay. And I think then my team told me she did a better job than I did. So the point is, somewhere the work-life integration concept in my...
Work-life integration, that's very unique.
Yeah, concept worked really well, and I think that now I have a large family of over, like about 100,000 people, and anywhere in any city, any town I go, I have a family member there. It's that way, and they would know my children, they know my wife, and they would know them all too. So in my view, the answer which I gave to that CEO was that it's not about work-life balance, it's about work-life integration. How do you integrate it well? How do you encompass it beyond just what you are looking at? And then there's no question of demarcation. Then there's no question of balance. Balance is when you see as two different entities, and then you're trying to balance this and that. And if you're trying to balance things, you can never get peace because you're trying to balance. Then sometimes you'll move here. And you heard the story of this cat and the story of monkeys, where they're trying to balance and the cat takes away, everything. It is like that. When you try to balance things in life, everything will be gone from you. If you integrate the two, there's no balancing. It becomes beautiful.
Exactly right. If you are creating imbalance,
Yes.
only then you have to balance
Exactly.
something.
Yeah.
If you don't create imbalance, that's the way to look at it. So you kept talking about guardrails, and imagine if you had to pass your philosophy to the next generation. And I'm calling it the master's code, to the next generation of leaders, dreamers. What will your code be?
Be obsessed about trying to do good to society. Be obsessed about trying to find where you can make a difference. Be obsessed about doing good to people around you. Be obsessed about ensuring that when you are through with this, you made a difference to people's life, to your country, to your society. You will find solutions. Even when you're starting early and you're doing something which you feel, how can I make a difference? Like, do I have the power to make a difference? Do I have to do that? But the obsession will make you an innovator. It will make you an entrepreneur or intrapreneur. It will make you, an amazing human being. It will transform you in the journey. And when the journey gets over, you will have more stories about amazing things to happen than something which went wrong. I think that has been my experience. So just have that obsession. When in doubt, always think that will this act of mine do good to somebody, and then don't
So
worry.
the world has so many problems. So how does one find a place where I can improve the world? Because
Okay, let me give you my example, because as you rightfully, world has a lot of problems. So I became an insurer. I stayed on being an insurer, but I realized that in this business I can make a difference to society. And then as I moved up the ladder, and I felt that if every Indian is covered for health insurance, it will save about 10 to 11 crores of Indians from going below poverty line. It's a WHO report. It's not my assumption. It's a hard-coded report.
yeah, people go
There are about
bankrupt.
10
Yeah.
crore people in India go below poverty line because they can't afford healthcare. So how do you solve it? Now I started writing about it, talking about it. I started sending notes to the offices of the ministers. I started talking to my people. How do we do so? Today we look at all election manifesto. It had coverage for all. Now you already have coverage for over 70 people. You already have coverage of below poverty line. Then if you look at, I also walked the talk. I insured J&K government through J&K government. For the first time, every citizen of J&K we insured as by Allianz. Then I insured also as a Gujarat. Every part of being there. A lot of people are afraid to do massive government businesses. I went ahead and did that, and I still push for it. Some under trust, some under insurance. I'm perfectly fine with that. The issue is that will make a huge difference to about 10 crore Indians not going below poverty line. Let's say if you are able to achieve insurance for all, now it's a conversation which even the Prime Minister is having, and everybody's having that. But to get there, to get that advocacy and put that thought across, I've been consistent and persistent. If you search interviews of mine, you'll find that for the past 10, 12 years, I've been asking for this. Right now, my next persistency is on asking for a cover against a natural catastrophic loss. My belief is SMEs in India, 90% plus are not covered at all. If in Uttarakhand flood happens, if Sikkim floods happen, the one who loses money is actually the small entrepreneur who had the dream of to become the next Adani, Ambani, the next Tata, the next Bajaj of India. And the poor guy's, the girl's dream got washed away one night of heavy rains, and the person goes bankrupt. I do not know if he or she will again, get back again to the battlefield. How do you ensure that the dreams of people don't get washed away by one flood, one earthquake, one fire? And how do they get enough to come back? That for a country which wants to become the superpower of the world will be very critical, with 90% not being covered. So now I'm talking of parametric coverages. I'm talking of putting this together, of an SME, MSME covered across the country, like you have this health one, of ensuring understanding the impact it has. Now I put this all together also. Our country is growing to 6-7%. I'm very happy that we're the fastest growing country. What we don't realize is that our country is actually growing at 10 to 11%. This 3-4% we're losing because of this. Is the leaking bucket, It's like you have water coming in the bucket and the leak happening. You're not plugging the leak. Plug the leak, the bucket gets filled very, very fast. So how do you plug the leak? It has an impact on the economy of the country. So just think, a simple thing, an insurer is talking of 3-4% growth to the economy. He's talking of saving 10 crores people from going below poverty line. He's talking of creating the next big entrepreneurs and not their dreams getting washed away. Could you ever think an insurer would speak like this? So in whatever profession you are in, once you're obsessed, you will have the vision. You'll figure out that what you can do to make a difference to your country, to your society. You'll figure it out. Get me any profession. And I promise you, in the next 10, 15 minutes, Vishal, we'll figure out what that person in that profession can do to make a difference to people.
But you know what I have figured out in the last 60 odd minutes? That you are not Arjun or Krishna. You are a combination of Yudhishthir and Karna, Danveer Karna, who always did good to others, even though he had the most power, but he always used his power for the goodness of others and the society. And I think that's what makes you truly, truly different. And I'm so happy to call you my brother, my friend. And Tapan, thank you again. Your journey is truly inspirational. Your leadership, you operate from the heart and the spirit, not from your brain. You're not at all about that. You are about humility, you are about family, and more importantly, you are about making a change. And we just make sure that there are more people like you in this world who think about not how much profit I am making for myself, but how much am I contributing to make the world better. Thank you. I hope all of you have enjoyed this episode of The Awakening Code. And if this has not awakened you, nothing else can. Thank you.